Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Mohamad Asyraf bin Ahmad. I'm from 4 bmmp 1/2. My supervisor name is PM Dr. Zulkifli bin Mohamad Rosli. My PSM title is Characterising Wco for Batik Inc. Introduction. Air pollution has been widely recognized as the most important contaminant in the world and lead the thinning of ozone layer, which is the contribute the global warming. Research have been done to find new recyclable material to reduce the dependence of petrochemical resource and to reduce environment pollution, improving people perception of the use environment friendly product in limited pollution is concerned with social health and quickly recyclable, creating incentive for vegetable oil and use for ink and surface coating. Objective: to create the suitability of batik ink using by WCO, to investigate the characterizing WCO batik ink, to investigate the potential application of WCO batik ink. Scope: to study the making the batik ink, the purpose the potential application of WCO batik ink. The natural ink will be measured on the fabric and the color will be detected whether it's the pass of success. Problem statement: the issue is to rate in the report are the WCO level in the processing of batik ink, the eco-friendly recycling of 100% green ink and the reuse the replace cooking oil. The ink origin have been researched and fed for the substitute will waste cooking oil and chemical reaction recall transesterification. Nevertheless, the ink in still not 100 green. Pigment is the one the laser, as the pigment is made the petroleum. Literature review. This is the literature review, chapter 2. Batik ink is the liquid the paste containing the pigment and dye used the batik processes. There are four materials that include to use the batik ink: binder, solvent, colorant, and additive in the batik process. Okay, in characteristic: accurate, intensity and brightness of color, mechanical damage resistant, light resistant, time and drying is short. Okay, this is metrology. We start from mix the waste cooking oil filtration process and transerification process, and we mix the iteration of turmeric liquid extraction. Then we mix and in formulation, continue the varnish preparation and ultrasonic band. Then we process to in characterizing viscosity test and FTIR. Then the result getting failed and we go back to in formulation. In formulation, varnish and ultrasonic band, and then in formulation again and viscosity test and FTIR, and we go to transfer into code, and then we can see in the quality analysis and the problem identification, and then we can see the imaging analysis and visual observation and the end. In processing have seed, waste cooking, oil filtering, natural dye extraction, transesterification, waste washing, in formulation, testing. Waste cooking oil filtration. We need to heat oil at extreme temperature. Then we'll filter using the paper towel. Natural dye. Okay, this is natural dye. We use to dry powder extraction. Dry powder extraction we use, but the color like orange, but still have sediment. But the experiment fail because they are look like orange. Uh, then we try to liquid extraction producer. We add some water and put and blend, and after we blend the turmeric become the juice, and we'll filter the juice and we can get juice of turmeric. After we do, we the next step process, transesterification process. We heat WCO 30 degrees Celsius and take 200 ml and mix the methoxide sodium in sodium methoxide. After after then we mix the oil and the methoxide and leave the solution for finding for 8 hours. Washing, we need to washing because we need to separate the glycerol and the glycosaline. Mix the 50% distilled water and spray oil and shake. After we shake, we can take 24 hours reaction and the oil can separate. And then the ink formulation, this is the most important part to do ink batik. WCO reaction basic plus plant-based initial oil emulsifier. We need mix 80 millimeter WCO and we plus BHT in the beaker and heat 60 degree, then mix and then add, and we need to cool the mixture. After cool, we add 10 millimeter plant-based in oil emulsifier to mixture, and then we shake, and then the solution mix well, and then we left for observation. Testing, viscosity testing. Viscosity testing is to measure the resistance of material to motion under the applied force. The viscosity unit is expressed in T post CP. The ink produced must be within standard viscosity range of batik ink. FTIR. The FTIR to identify and confirm chemical composition of the formulated ink. The FTIR based data, chemical compound, liquid and paint ink can be determined, and then we can know from the graph. Observation, visual observation, draw on batik. After the final test, we will test on the code and the video link video that I post is how to the result when we paint on batik. Okay. Testing involve the aim to achieve several objectives that the CP value, viscosity, the viscosity, FTIR, pigment, painting, batik ink, produce the visual observation, brush and code. Okay, this is a table that show 3 trial that I do. The first trial is 3.30, the second trial is 2.70, the third trial is 3.60, and then we calculate the total average, the 3.20. Then the same common viscosity dye and ink are between 1 and 10 CP. FTIR. FTIR identify the chemical bond and molecule to producing the infrared absorption spectrum. FTIR can be used to characterize the ink throughout the turmeric. Okay, this is comparison between the original batik ink and the turmeric ink. The red one is the batik, the turmeric batik ink. The blue one is the original batik ink. We can see the graph is very similar. The wave number also also similar. Okay, especially in the peak obtained. This is data that I get from FTIR. We show the wave peak, transmission and group. This is group and group for peak obtained. Conclusion. The study to aim to create the suitability of batik ink using by WCO, they investigate the characterizing WCO batik ink to investigate the potential application of WCO batik ink. It was proven through FTIR. It was proven the through FTIR result that green printing green painting ink made up by WCO show the ink contain less carbon and composite are similar the commission ink. The results are similar, the tone are variables and may due the ink consistency. It may conclude that the ink and pigmented are similar to commercial is. That's all for my present. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.